I think. All right, we're live. All right, welcome everybody to an early episode today of Football Unfiltered with, of course, myself, co-host Brandon, and the star of the show,
I'm
Mr.
not the
Craig
star.
Butler.
He's just,
No, I disagree. But welcome everyone. It's Wednesday, June 15 already. Jeez. Day after the Jamaica match. We'll let people filter in a bit, but um, yeah, happy Wednesday, everybody, and glad if you're able to join us. And if you're watching later, thank you for watching. So we're also going to go over maybe some questions from last stream because there was a lot. So we'll go over some of that as well. And yeah, so Craig, how was the match yesterday? Leon, as you can see, Leon scored. I put up the Leon banner, but yeah, what did you think?
I think it was his best game for Jamaica
Mm,
ever. And I think that it's a culmination of the coach actually recognizing that if he gets more balls,
mhm.
then the team will become more dangerous. And it will also push and inspire the team. So I'm really happy with what I saw. There's still some things that need to be sorted, so I decided to bring my.
To nil in Qatar. The Jamaicans are on the attack. Jamal Nicholson over on the far left. Gets across in a brilliant goal. Leon Bailey. Wonderfully done. The first attack from the Jamaicans tonight. And it was bang on target.
So yeah, he had a lot of great moments in that match. But of course,
Yeah.
that culminated to win to a great goal.
And that is important. If you notice where he was when the ball was about to be kicked is not the same place he ended up.
Yeah,
Look, he's gonna cut in, go between the
yeah.
two defenders. Head movement off the ball equals results with the ball. Always.
It's almost like he saw him about to kick it. He knew he was about to kick it. And he made the
Yeah,
move. He made the
yeah,
cut.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a
yeah.
great goal. And the Mexican defender really didn't even anticipate it because look, if you see right here,
He's
he
marking it.
yeah he looked. He's like, okay, he's behind me. I don't have to worry about it, right? A second behind, right there. So he looks. He looks at Leon. He's like, all right, he's behind me. I just have to stay in front of him. And he wasn't expecting him to just do that quick cut. See how shocked he was. He was just
Excellent.
yeah,
Yeah.
great goal, great goal.
Very good goal. And the delivery of that pass is also very important too.
Mm.
So Shamar Nicholson made that pass, right? So
Yeah,
a
yeah,
good move.
yeah.
There were some challenges which I wanted to kind of point out with what they're trying to do, which is the press. Yeah,
Mhm.
could see it. I saw the effort. I saw the effort at doing what's called a quadratic press, which is to press in one half. Yeah, one quarter.
A quarter, yeah.
So this would have been the opponent's defenders, the red. Yeah, their team. You know, winger, striker, and other winger. So this would have been their team. Yeah, the
Mhm.
red. And they're scoring in this goal. The opponent. Right? Now we are seeking to score in this goal. And we're seeking to press. So if this black ball, this was the ball, for example, and the opponent played the ball, the goalkeeper, their goalkeeper, played the ball to their wing back, to their centre half, right? The first thing that should have happened was Shamar Nicholson, who's the centre forward, here would do what's called a curve run. And this is why it's called curve. Because you don't run directly there. You don't run directly to the ball. You actually run in what's called a curve run. So the run should be like this. you're running in a curve way to block off the pass back to the goalkeeper, and also to block the pass back to the across to the opposing center, the opposing other center half. Right. So that's the most important part of beginning the press. Everybody else was doing their job right. Leon was here. He would have pressed in from here. Um, well, not everybody because um, or attacking midfielder.
Um, can't
The
remember
top
who's name.
attacking midfielder he played.
Yeah, I can't. Is it Flemings?
No.
Um,
My guy from England, man.
oh,
Played for Man U at some point.
I am drawing a blank too.
Anyway,
Yeah,
our attacking midfielder,
Morrison.
Marson, yeah,
Yeah.
Ravel Marson. What Ravel was doing was he was coming here to block this pass. But when he comes here, he leaves here open, leaves this open. So what he has to do is to press the ball directly from the middle. Leon, the right winger, press from the wing, or players push up. Leaving one wing wide. Yeah. 1, 2. Center forward, attacking mid, right wing, left wing, attacking mid, box to box, 6, right back, center, and left back. Yeah? Because we're playing with 4 at the back. So, these guys should have come over and pressed, leaving this guy open. Naturally, what's going to happen is the ball will draw this player in, draw this player in. Remember, we're faster than the opponent. So, instead of, that's where the biggest mistakes were. Shamar didn't make this curve run. What was happening is the two of them came here and allowed the two centre halves to start the play. Once they allow them to start the play, even if Leon goes to press, they can pass the ball around him into these midfielders that will come into these spaces. Right? So that was where the biggest problem was. And the two of them get beat at the same time. One has to do the curve run and block the pass back. The other one has to press here. The other one shut in here. Force them to go to our strengths, which is the defenders, to keep the ball long for people like Damian Lowe and company to head the ball. Wasn't too happy with our boy from now former Cavaliers now at Mount Pleasant. Topi made some mistakes, made some serious mistakes, and our wingback from the Whitecaps, Brown, was his last name?
I think Jovain
Javan Brown.
Brown.
Yeah. Javain kept turning the ball back because he's still thinking the way Otapa used to play, side back. Just get the ball, give it to Leon, give it to the winger, whoever the winger is, Leon, or if Junior is over there, give it to him, right?
Yeah.
And if he gives it to him, then even if he loses it there, we can press and win it back there.
Mm-hmm.
If you keep turning it back, you're inviting mistakes. You're inviting the opponent to come and press you. And when you do that, they will take it from you. We're not Brazil. We don't want to be Brazil either. We're Jamaica. We're sprinters that play really good football, very creative, have skill, and have sense. So we play the pressing game. We create, once we want the ball over this side, the ball should be switched immediately. 2 touches, boom, boom, over here. When you get into this winger, every time we've been in isolated 1v1 situations, we've beat that Mexican defender or any defender for so to speak. Put Leon out here, no problem. Put in the new player that came on, the number 20, Rolando Aarons, he did well as well. Put in Junior Fleming, he will do well. He will beat them going down, right? And Shamar Nicholson needs to play higher up the pitch, keeps coming into the midfield. But I spoke with him at halftime and he said that the coach wanted him to come back because he was having a headache. I said, no, don't back off. Push up. Because when you push up, and the team pushes up and he presses and he stays on the last spot, that's where his physical presence makes a difference.
Yeah.
If you just drop it off into the midfield, sorry, you're just like anybody else. You know,
Yeah.
he's staying up on that last one, 1v1. That centre half here, in attack, Shamar up here, on that last one. You can play it to him, he can send it in the spaces, you can turn with it in the long ball in the air and out muscle him. How many times did you see Shamar Nicholson out muscle the defender? Even Leon was
Yeah.
good in the air
Yeah.
when they played the ball to him, heading
Yeah.
on balls and all of that. So that's how we should play to our strengths.
Yeah. Some people are also saying that Speedy had a subpar game. What do you think about
I think
Speedy
Speedy
Williams?
was a little excited. I think he was 2 shots he kicked would look like it was embarrassing because he kicked them very high. But at the same time, you're building a play, you're trying. I mean, you ask, okay, Speedy had a subpar game. Who would you put there in instead of him?
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
um, so I can't say that I'd replace him because who had a really bad game was Lambert.
Mm.
Lambert had a really bad game. Did not really work well in the transition, which is key to our success. When Damian Lowe wins the ball or defenders win the ball and give it to that attacking midfield, defensive midfielder, he has to be looking forward to the attacking mid to Ravel Morrison. He has to look for him
Yeah.
immediately. And Ravel can handle the ball, so give it to him under pressure. Let him make the mistake and you do your job and win it again. But give it to him. Don't try to look cool and keep turning back the ball. You know, you have to
Yeah.
play the balls to where we have the strengths.
Yeah. We have also someone mentioning, Will saying a few of the guys were unfit. Coaching to implement more cardio. I did notice some of the players that by the end of the game were, they seemed like they were completely out of it. How do you think their fitness level was yesterday?
I think that Shamar was not well.
Mm.
So do not use that game to judge him. I think that he gave his all for the team, even though he was not well. And I think that that pass to Leon was brilliant.
Yeah.
And I think that the combination between him and Leon later on in the game that almost resulted in Leon scoring when the ball went outside
Yeah.
was good as well. So we can't knock him. He's a presence up there, and he has the ability.
Yeah.
I just think that on a day when he was better prepared, better health wise,
Yeah.
and I don't think the players are unfit. When you look at players like Leon is coming off of a season recovered, and he's been training with me, and he looks fit. He looks
Yeah. I was gonna
full
say
100. Leon was running. I
at
mean, towards the end of the game, he wanted more.
yeah. I remember at one point in 70 or 80th minute around there, a ball was kicked right to the corner flag, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's out."
Run it up.
Leon just sprints straight, keeps it in, and could have developed something there. But I was like, yeah, Leon looks really fit. At least in that match. Yeah.
He was good. Damon looked good as well. Ravel was awesome. Junior Fleming's work rate was top. I think the team um, just with needs time together, needs more bonding. The wing back needs to understand that the more balls you give Leon, the more dangerous he becomes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just keep give him under pressure. Give him with a man in his back. He's played at the highest level. He's taught to get around players. He's tricky. Don't be afraid. You see, the problem we have is many of our players in the past cannot hold the ball in tight situations.
Mhm.
That's not the case now. You have Ravel Morrison, who's super at it. You have Leon that's top at it. You have Shamar that can hold up that ball. Junior Fleming, that is work rate alone, even if he might have some technical challenges at times, not so much now. But the truth of it is, Junior will give you the ball and tackle you back for it a million times and win it.
Yeah.
So, his
He has the
work
heart.
rate, he
Yeah,
had the heart and the work rate. Is one thing you can never, ever, you know, say Junior Fleming doesn't have his heart.
yeah.
He's a fighter.
And it's he didn't play much for his team this year, and for him to come and staying fit, it shows that he had like he really is trying his best. He's staying fit even if he's not playing. He's coming over to Jamaica to play in full 90 minutes. So yeah, he looked really good. I'm always happy to watch him play. Hopefully he gets
Listen
some
to this
time.
man, Duke telling Craig, please tell Bailey that he's to trust his players more and
Pass the ball.
pass the ball. That makes extremely zero sense. Because Leon was passing the ball the
Passing all
whole
game.
game.
Yeah,
Sometimes I
yeah,
wonder if these guys are they watching from the bad mind that's in their heart or they're actually um,
yeah.
thinking logically.
Well, right above that, Rajon Williams
Hello?
says that position Leon
What?
play. Well, we'll give Craig a second.
I'm in my office in a meeting. Come.
Yeah, so someone said right above that the position he played last night is where he should play for Jamaica.
Yeah, well, he played right wing. But the thing is, remember, the coach is playing through him and Ravel, really.
Yeah,
So, he's all over the place.
yeah,
He's a free roam. He comes in the middle sometimes. But his work rate takes him there too. If he loses the ball, he's going to run you all the way back down into
yeah.
the 18, you know. So that's why it's going to be.
Good
I'm on
man.
a show. Yeah. Um, 1 second, I just have to leave it someone.
Yeah,
Philip, the rods are there, and there's a black bag. Ask the guy who's working out there where the black bag is with the rounders. Alright.
Where the water? And he said that's a good place to film.
The rods are inside the big tool pan, and another set is on the shelf in there. Look,
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 on the tall one like I said in the other day.
no, the black one on the ground, and on the side the little fridge. Yeah, sorry guys.
I understand.
Trying to ensure that the boat is safe because
hey, it's a big rainstorm.
as rainstorm might come, and with rainstorm comes big waves and wind, and
Yeah,
one of the boats are in the water still, and the trailer is
Mm.
damaged, so we need to fix the trailer
just to get it out of the.
just to get it out of the water. That's it. So
Someone's asking or saying that McGee and Paris should have come on. What do you think about that?
you have to always have a good mix on the pitch, and this is where the problem is, right? Maggie is a creative player and a good creative player, really good. I've always called for him to be the team. The problem is a similar problem to what I saw when the Jamaicans under 20. They put Pearson, Powell, and um, my boy there, youngster from JC,
Oh,
Duncan McKenzie.
yeah,
All three attacking midfielders, attacking players, ball players in the middle of the pitch. Yeah?
yeah,
And if you put in all of them, people just walk straight through your middle because you have no defensive midfield.
yeah,
You don't have anybody in there working. So to have Maggie, Leon, Ravel, and Speedy on the pitch at the same time
yeah,
is a challenge. You could put in a Maggie. It depends on the maturity. Maggie has become more mature and is staying on the path that I got him on, which is when you lose the ball, you fight for it. You don't play people ball, and when you lose the ball, you run back.
yeah,
Yeah, because that was his biggest problem. They created a monster at JC whilst not finishing the product.
Mhm.
So if he continues on the path that started him on, where he has to run back when he loses the ball, he makes the through passes and runs into the box to add to that, then fine.
yeah,
But a big problem would be, what do you do if Leon is still running and Ravel is still running
yeah,
and Speed is still
Still
running? How do you get Maggie in?
yeah,
If
He's
they're
got that.
tired or somebody got injured, then yeah, put him in
Yeah.
because then he'll add that creative component. but the creative component is already there.
I see. And I remember when he was here training, I think this was sometime last year, and then he played a few matches for Jamaica. After that, he looked like he was following what you were
Yeah, he was
saying.
following what
He
we're
looked
saying. He
great.
was doing well,
Everyone
but
had good comments about it.
Maggie doesn't. Maggie, I don't know.
Do you think it's
I
a
don't want to badmouth him. I just think
yeah,
that he needs to understand that loyalty and stick to itiveness goes a very far way in football.
mhm.
People, the world of football is very small, and we all understand the same fork that sticks the sheep is
Okay,
the same fork that's gonna stick the goat. So
okay,
what I do to you,
yeah,
yeah, and then run to someone else, that person that I'm running to knows I
yeah.
did it to
He did
you,
you? I see.
so he's not gonna trust you.
Haven't heard that one
Yeah.
before. Yeah.
Same fox, stick sheep, stick goat. And that's one of the things with Leon that's been so super in that he stayed loyal throughout this whole period of time.
Yeah.
And because of that, I've become more powerful in my advocacy for him. You know that I will talk for him, and if you mess with him, I'll come for you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell him the truth all the time because I love him genuinely. Before he played football, before he was any great footballer,
Mm.
but he was a little boy with me here, and we're making porridge or we're cooking food or we're outside or whatever.
Morning.
Um,
Morning.
we were working together, and that's the key. So that's it. What is it? I'm not sure. Yeah. What is it? Dr. Shelley. Yeah. So yeah. So as I said, the focus for us have to be on loyalty to the program. Let me talk to you about loyalty. Where are all of those players that came in from England that wanted to represent us if we were going to the World Cup?
Yeah.
Where are they? Where are the big strikers and all of those people? They're all gone.
Who was it? Just who else was UK? Was Ravel? But who else
The
was it?
striker
Right.
from West Ham.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, yeah. But I'm saying yesterday.
Oh,
Who
yesterday.
came yesterday? Was just Ravel, and Ravel's always come.
Ravel and
Yeah.
the left back.
Right.
But he was
Lee,
new.
Gregory.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Uh,
yeah.
but the truth of it is, if you look, there was no Pinnock, there was no anybody else.
Yeah.
They're all gone on their vacations. Yeah? Leon Bailey is at that level.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Ravel is either in between clubs or looking for a new club now. So, and to be honest, at the same time, you have to rate Ravel too. Ravel a yard man,
Yeah.
straight up. That is a Jamaican youth.
Yeah. I hear he gets with everybody.
In
Yeah.
the blood in
No
him
problem.
is Jamaican solid blood that run through that youth.
Mhm.
Right? Rate him, respect him, talk to him. He can laugh with you, jump with you, everything. Yeah. But if you look at Leon, Leon could be at this moment doing what the others are saying. Hey, I'm on my vacation. We didn't make it to the World Cup. Why don't you try out some younger kids? I don't have any time for this.
Yeah.
No, came back. Day he landed, the day after he landed, he was back training with me, working on that ankle, working on his fitness, making sure he's up. Yeah. And then do the thing.
Even
Right?
even when he's stuck in Suriname, he's still
He's
coming back
working.
and playing.
Yeah, yeah,
It's,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, so and that's the thing, and keeping the team together, being a leader in the team. And one of the things that you have to recognize is this. You want people that want to play for Jamaica, that want to love the country and do the right thing. And yes, get rid of the people in JFF who not doing their job.
Mhm.
Get rid of them, tell them get out.
So that was the second part what I wanted to
Yeah.
ask you. So with
But at the same time,
yeah,
never give up on your country.
yeah,
You see that banner behind me?
yeah,
That banner was made by a Belgian,
mm,
yeah, for Leon when he was playing that game. And before Leon was playing for Jamaica, When even when JFF was fighting him out and Vin Blaine was saying him not good and don't want to have anything to do with him and lying, still Leon took that banner from the fans
Yeah.
there and had it and ran all around the stadium with it. Proud to be a Jamaican. That's the key, and that's what you need to go forward.
Yeah. So what I wanted to ask was, where did the players go from here in terms of accountability for the JFF? You know, saying they're going to do something is one thing, but how do you keep them accountable for taking the action? And,
Listen, Captain Morrell, God rest his soul, put this system in place where the 13 parish associations, two votes for Kasafa because they're Kingston and St. Anne, the 14 parish associations vote to put in the executives of the JFF. So you have to be a president of one of these associations, and then they vote you in. The problem with that, right? There is a huge problem with having what I would call a brain drain. If you only take from those places, and if the sharpest minds
mm,
in football and in business are not in those places,
yeah,
how do we get those minds into the football? I'm not a part of any of those associations. Neither is Chris Williams, neither is Chris Derrick, neither is Ali Makdam. Yeah?
yeah,
Experience, sharp minds. John Barnes is not part of that, you know? So how does that work?
yeah,
Are we going to get rid of Mike Ricketts now and Dalton Witt, get rid of the vice presidents and everybody else there, vote again? Are you going to get any better?
yeah.
No, you're going to get worse.
They would probably find a way to bring them back in as well.
Exactly. You will
Yeah,
get worse. All you'll get is more people that got into that position
yeah,
without any big experience in world football. When you look around this room, there's the president of Bayern Munich, Real Madrid,
yeah,
Neymar's manager, you know, George Mendes, Lukaku's manager. He- how do you not take advantage of those connections? Let me explain to you some of the things that could happen for Jamaica's football if they change the system where the
All right, sorry about that, guys. We have thank you. Had just a drop in your connection, so we're back. You guys should be able to hear us. Um, yeah. So
yeah. So what I was saying, right, Brandon,
mhm,
is when you have someone who you bring in now from the parish association again, it's going to be someone with no international experience. Yes, Dylan, I'm on a thing right now. You can link me back. All right, come check me. I'm at home. Yes, yes. So, um, you're gonna have someone with no international experience because they're part of the Jamaica's parish associations.
mhm,
So you can't be part of a gang car. You hear? That's one. Two is most likely not going to be someone with a lot of football business experience or sports business experience.
Mhm.
So you're going to get another Dalton Wind, right? Now, let me give you an example of what can happen if you look at people outside of that realm. So, for example, me,
Mhm.
yeah, I have the capability to get to the Italian FA, the French FA, the Belgian FA, the German FA, the English FA,
In
and
Spanish, you were just
and the
saying.
Spanish
Yeah.
FA, right? The Maltese FA, right? And several others. The Dutch FA, yeah. Now imagine what the purse would be on games played, friendly games
Mhm.
played against those teams. Suppose they have a stadium that's 50,000 strong and they're charging $100 a ticket or
Mhm.
50 euros a ticket. Yeah. And we say, please, we want 30% of the gate. Leon Bailey is coming, several players are coming, want 30% of the gate. You negotiate, you make sure your best players are there, you pay them well, and you give them 20% or 30% of your proceeds. So the 30% that the JFF will get from that game,
Yeah.
you give 20 to 30% directly
Of
to the
that.
players.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you say to the players, from that 30% we give you, we want you to give 10% to the charity in Jamaica of your choice.
Mhm.
If you have 50,000 people going at $100 each, how much money is that?
50,000.
100 times 50,000 is how much?
Is that 5 million?
5 million. Yeah? If you take 5 million and you divide that by, I ask for 30%, just say you got 2 million.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Around there, 1.5. Yeah.
Yeah?
That's euro.
Euro. 2 million euro. Times 2 million euro by 150,000. 150. 2 million euro times 150.
300 million.
That's 300 million Jamaican dollars, of which you're going to give 60 million to the players.
Mhm.
And they say, we want you to take, of that 60 million, we want you to take 20 million and give back to a charity in Jamaica.
Mhm.
That each of you are going to do it. Do you realize that the FIFA money that will get, that they're using, because they are, that they're using in JFF to pay the salaries, the FIFA money that is sent for development, the JFF is using to pay the salaries of the staff that they have there.
Mhm.
Yeah. So the company as of JFF is not self-funded, right? It's not self-funded. It's not um um how would I put
It's
it there?
not just
It's not it doesn't
sustainable.
generate, it doesn't have a
Yeah.
way of sustaining itself outside of FIFA.
Yeah.
Just from those games alone, one game enough, you'd have
Mhm.
had something like 40 million
Yeah.
in one game. Imagine if you had one of those games every month.
Yeah.
Easily, you take care of all your business.
Not only that, even youth teams. Send out youth teams to play in friendlies against youth
Yeah,
teams in Spain. Because even those teams get
yeah.
big audiences.
You know, somebody said this. I just saw something there that I think I want to react to it. So
Sure.
let me finish what I was saying, though. They said this, right? Put it up.
Okay.
But let me finish what I was saying. So just imagine what would happen if I was able to be able to get those games. The booking agent for Holland
Yeah.
at one point was me.
Hmm.
So easily I
Yeah.
could have got the game. Yeah. But
Yeah.
what happens, they don't realize the level that you're operating.
Yeah.
So the truth be told, right, what we can do right now is seek to increase the number of votes that have happened, which FIFA has come down to Jamaica and said they want 61 votes. by December, not 14, but 61 votes. So other parties that are associated with football will have a say and a vote, which is good. And therefore, we can now look at how do we get to get a full proper executive in. Um, and one of the things I saw Mike Ricketts last night at the game, and one of the things I was trying to say to him, I said, Mike, you need to learn to have inclusion. If you don't have inclusion of the people that can help you, then you will fail.
Yeah.
Right? If you look at how Phoenix runs, there's Eddie Layton, there's Nicola Bittell and Shelley. That one does administration, one does fundraising, leadership. Eddie Layton is there for background and support and philosophy, and Dr. Keith Clark is there that takes care. And any of the kids have a medical problem. It's you with the marketing. There's just so many people, but each person has something specific that they do well. And I have the face, yes, that goes out and cuts everybody, but there's a lot of people that are there working alongside me.
Mhm.
And so the JFF is not like that. They're so afraid to lose the small position that they have that they're unwilling to bring on big people. You know, Look at the experience Ali McNamara had as a
Yeah.
footballer, as a business owner, as a politician, as an advisor. Yeah, good person to have. Chris Williams is one thing Chris can do. Chris know for work and make money for people.
Yeah.
So put Chris to making some money for JFF. Craig Butler is the most miserable person by no football, and he also has had as an agent, as a manager, super contacts and good respect all over Europe. Yeah, how many people in Jamaica can pick up the phone and get trials of players all over Europe?
Yeah. Not even that. People
Yeah.
calling your phone.
Calling my
Come.
phone to get them to come
Yeah.
as well.
I've
So,
seen it.
so you've seen it yourself.
Yeah.
So that can't happen. I want to answer this question to this guy because
Sure.
he says, Craig Butler, I think you're doing a good job, but until you produce another star, doesn't even have to be a Bailey level, just another star, you're not going to have the respect from the masses. Do me a favor, please.
Hmm.
Can you get from YouTube? Can you go on YouTube?
Hmm.
Or do you have any of Kemar Reed's footage?
Um. Let me see.
The person who made that comment, please stay right here and just watch this. Give me something on Kemar Reed.
Okay, these are just clips. Let me pull up his reel.
Yeah, pull up this reel. We're going to go through, since you did that, we're going to go through some of the players that we have developed that are already stars.
Okay.
Let me talk while you're watching this. Kemar Reed was developed by Phoenix, played in Jamaica. I loaned him out while being a part of Sporting Central. Scored 2 goals a game. Took him and moved him to Europe. Club Brugge wanted to sign him. He was with Club Brugge for a while. He had an accident, ran through a glass window, lacerated almost every part of his body, damaged his knees, his ankles, everything. And Kemar Reed came home. We rebuilt him, took him back to Malta. He just won the Maltese with Floriana. He won the FA Cup. He's now playing in the Europa qualifiers. And he's a top player. He's big, he's strong, he's fast, talented. They call him the bagman because he scores so many goals. And um, You look at his talent, you'll see top.
And Kamar Reed is one of the best players for his team this year.
Yeah.
He won a lot of, got some accolades, and weren't there other clubs? He just joined that club this year. I don't remember the
Just
name.
joined this club,
Yeah.
and because of what he did last year, right? So when you're ready, go and look up Kemar Reed. Can you look up?
Okay.
Can we look up Dijon, Whisper Richards as well?
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, Leon's an ambassador now, so maybe we should keep up the flow
Yeah.
commercial. So this one, actually, yeah, we should do an updated version. So he's taller now, 6'1", right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go ahead. You talk.
Yeah, I mean, Whisper. I mean, I've seen him play a lot here and through videos and everything. He's just tall. Um, gets real into any situation, or just jumps into any situation and really has the power to finish. I mean, some of these clips that you'll see, he has like,
That's playing against big clubs in England.
yeah, he played. This goal he scored almost near the halfway line in England. I can't remember which team this was, but
That was ready.
that was Reading. And like, just a freak of a talent. I mean, it's just when you see him standing, it's like you think he's 19, 20, 21 years old. He's only 16 now, right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, he's and we had that during that U.S. Combine. The first question, I remember you cussed me out at that time because I was like, "Hey, they want to talk to Whisper right away," and you were like, "No, Whisper is
Yeah.
much bigger opportunities are there." So every U.S. coach was just like, "Well, obviously we want Whisper, but that was the first thing they always said." So it was
Yeah, but Whisper is not for the US market. Whisper is for Europe.
yeah. But they
Not
were
rushing it, but making sure when he's 18, he signs, not before.
yeah. So yeah, he's a top player who's going to be coming out next. And he was training with Leon. He was training with Leon this year
Always, yeah.
when he came back. So um,
Can you look up Kimo Jackson?
sure. I don't think we have. How do you spell his chemo?
MU. KEMMU.
And when did he join? How old was he when he first joined the?
Phoenix?
Yeah.
14, 15.
Oh.
Train with us, develop with us. Winger, top talent, playing professionally now, and about to make a big move. Now let's look up Cleofilo Blighter.
Okay, I'm going to need help.
Hmm?
I'm going to need help with that.
GLEOFI. Cleofilo came to Phoenix at 14 years old, 13, 14, and remained here to this 18. Went on to sign, play professionally. At 22 years old, he's the all-time leading goal scorer of the Surinamese national team. He was last year's Nation League's Golden Boot winner,
Yeah.
and he respects and understood how important it is, the game and development. So he's one of our players, as you can see,
Yeah.
showing he's built at the Phoenix All Stars Football Academy, along with other top talents. Yeah. And so the person there was saying, I could sit here all day. Let's move to Matthew Wooling. Woo and then Ling divided.
Uh, oh, this one. This one's. Oh, this one's 8 years ago.
No,
This one.
yeah. Matthew Wooling is a well-developed national team player out of Trinidad. Spent 4 years with us in Phoenix developing, in Jamaica, living here, playing here, training here. 2 years with me in Belgium. Went on to play with Inter Miami, um, and now he's in Iceland, believe it or not.
I didn't know
At
that.
one of the top teams in Iceland and doing very well. So, one time Tottenham was really after him. Went to Tottenham on trial as well. So, he's
So
now.
you have a. You can keep going for sure.
I could keep going and going and going. So, the person who said about my developmental talent, been doing it for a long time. You want to know about earlier talent? Let me share some talents that I've developed already. Romario Williams. Look him up. This is currently playing. Romario Williams. So come check it. Just doing an interview here. Huh? Yes? Yeah, but I can't talk now. I'll call you in a little while because I'm doing an interview. Yeah. Yeah, so if you look at Romario Williams was at Phoenix from he was 11 years old, developing there. He went and played with Harborview after a while and then left Jamaica. But all his formative years was at Phoenix and he remains at Phoenix.
He's Jamaican international too. He played.
Jamaican international as well.
Yeah.
Sean Laws,
See if I can find.
SHAWN. He'll go to the Waterhouse stop spot.
This was actually.
An interview with him.
No, this is highlights of a game that I recorded for Island Sports when
Yeah.
I owned that company. Well, still technically own it, but own the brand. But I remember I was at this match and I can't remember how many. Well, I was the one who broadcasted this match. I think Sean Loss played, um, and this was a good match back in the days.
Yeah, so Sean went on to play for Waterhouse. I told Sean he could have played goalkeeper, striker, or defender. He was a better goalkeeper than any goalkeeper I'd seen in my life up to that time in Jamaica. And I told him he could be either the best Jamaican goalkeeper we have ever seen, or it could be a mediocre forward or a decent defender. I guess he decided to become a decent defender. So he was, however, he was the captain of the national under 15. He played on the under 17 team. I think the one that went to also the World Cup. So along with Jason Wright, another player that was developed at Phoenix. So the truth of it is if you want me to go on all day about players that I developed, I could go on.
Yeah.
The Andre Virtue,
Yeah.
who coaches
David.
Ballers,
Yeah.
I was one of his first coaches
Wow.
when he was little.
Mm.
Um, the same for Gregory Salesman, Gregory Simmons. But more importantly, Tyrone Marshall also,
Yeah.
and his brother Peter, I also coached them when they were smaller.
And,
So
yeah.
that's how long I've been in football.
Yeah.
Tyrone
And-
went on to become a national team player.
Yeah.
He also went on to play in the MLS, and he also now coaches with Cincinnati in the
Yeah.
MLS. So how much more you want, my Bridget?
And one thing that I learned about the intricacies of football, just knowing you and listening from you, is that yeah, well, everybody sees because he's playing in the Premier League. Leon Bailey's his name is always there, but what's the thing about football? That's like 1% of all football players in the world, where players are playing professionally all around the world and making a living. Just because a player isn't making hundreds of millions of dollars doesn't mean they're not making a good living playing football.
Well, the truth of it is that if you look from Neymar's academy, one,
Mhm.
from Messi's academy, one, yeah, the Phoenix is ranked as the number one privately owned academy by FIFA now
Mhm.
in the world, and they ask why. So because of the amount of players we have actually turned out. So when he made that statement, the person who made that statement there, he was super wrong because we have 33 players playing professional football across the world,
Yeah.
built here in Phoenix.
Yeah.
So
And if they weren't doing that, where would they be? Right?
yeah,
That's always the question. Um, you know, you're always trying to help out anybody who comes in. Right? Any player, young kid who wants to play, you help them out. So they could have been in worse situations, a lot of the times. So um, this is just talking about someone else who's
yeah. So
yeah, Alexander Bicknell was out of your academy as well.
Xander Bittnell was also developed in our academy. Dante Peralta developed in our academy.
Mhm.
The younger ones, if you're going into them, Dante Duncan is developed in our academy. Jamani Bell, the top player at Woolmans, is developed at our academy. Dylan John at JC is developed in our academy. The MVP for prep school 2 years ago when prep school was kept, off key, Daniel Scarlett was developed in our academy. One of the top scorers for prep school, um, Skylar McFarlane, now at St. George's Pepsi, was developed in our academy. We could go on and on and on and
Yeah.
on and on and on.
And now recently, all of Mona players,
All Boda
have
players
the
are out of
opportunity.
them. Yeah, the opportunity. So,
and we saw what they did last year. I mean,
yeah. So the truth of it is someone said, I'm interested in why I once said it would be a conflict of interest for me to be involved in the JFF.
Mhm.
Listen carefully. Phoenix was created to show Jamaica what we could do. Right? Now, by goal, let me mix it up a little for you. I already look now, listen, without my players being in Jamaica. Leon Bailey did not play for Jamaica when he became a professional footballer. I did not use Jamaica to get my players opportunities or contract. Jamaica used me. We were already, all these players you hear me talking about, it's not because of national team representation why and caps why they got these opportunities. That is the difference between me and everybody else. I don't need Jamaica. I don't need the Jamaica national team in order for my players to get sold and transfer and get opportunities. That's the difference. Speed doesn't have any of those contacts on that wall. Can we flip it around?
I don't want the wire
Wire,
might,
yeah, yeah.
just in case.
Eh, Speed doesn't have those contacts. Nobody else here has those contacts. Nobody in Jamaica, period, have those contacts. So I don't really need the JFF or to have my players play for Jamaica in order for them to make it. I love Jamaica. I want to help Jamaica. I want to see Jamaica qualify for a World Cup. My I don't need Jamaica to make money. I don't need Jamaica to live. I want Jamaica to make it to a World Cup so that other people will have the opportunities that Leon and Kemar and everybody else have. Yeah? So it's the other way around. Now, I don't want to be president of the JFF. Period. I keep saying that. I want to see someone capable as president of the JFF. I want to see a team of experienced professionals doing what they do best in the JFF. Where would I fit? Let me give you the answer. I would fit as the director of football and football development and system. Let me explain what I mean. Can we type in Michelle Sablon in Google and just put it up here what it is?
Um,
Michel. There you go. I want us to take a look at this, right? I want to be this person for Jamaica. And I'll tell you why I am qualified to do it. When clubs want your players, they will sometimes do grant requests that you have, right? The main request that I had when I was taking Leon and Kyle, right, to Europe was I must coach with the club. I must get what's called a practicum. In other words, I have to be able to work with the club, learn from the club, get to learn your systems, how you operate, watch your trainings, be a part of the training, all of that. I did that at Genk for 2 years, Ajax, Trenton in Slovakia. I was actually a little further that I was a technical trainer for the team. So all the way they kick, shoot, pass, all of that. And if in Austria, um, and in Malta, I became the coach of the Premier League team there. So I am able to know how our opponents develop their players. Those people have been successful. I want you to read, we're going to try and go through certain little excerpts in this article. Michel Sabla was the person who developed football. Is this on the show right now?
yeah, yeah.
There's
Okay, think we're back. Okay,
all right.
yeah,
Good.
they can see this. Yeah.
Okay, so the Belgian national team did not qualify for the World Cup and they weren't playing horribly, right? So the clairvoyant technical director uprooted Belgium's football prolonged state of indolence and inertia with a revolution based on a 4-3-3 formation, individual player development, and institutional change. Go down. Sabalon re-engineered the Belgian game. Go up a little, let me see some. Is that a video?
No, this is an ad.
Okay,
It's an
okay.
ad.
Yeah. Um, this next paragraph goes on to tell you what happened. They were playing Turkey. They lost. They didn't make it to the World Cup. He was he was disgusted like I am
Yeah.
with the national team.
They were going sideways.
They were going sideways, yeah, side back, yeah, and so they changed that. He went in. Let's look at some of the institutional changes and the football that he changed.
Here's one thing: the minimum trajectory for an aspiring top player is 10,000 hours.
Yeah. So 10,000 hours of training would be needed to get to top player level,
Yeah.
which means that at the national level, you have to have those training camps consistently. Yeah. Players wore heart rate monitors, check intensity levels of different forms.
This is after a lot of negotiation. A group of task force and committee they agreed to go with
4-3-3.
Yeah.
So everybody in the country played one formation,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So with everybody playing one formation, everybody would know how the national team would need them to play. So wherever they went, they'd be able to fit in. Continue. Stop in the tapestry of clubs, top sports schools, the JC, the KCs, and national youth team. Sablon stressed the importance of the individual player. The technical director and a small group of loyal zealots, including whoever, um, became flag bearers. They carried their dogma to the clubs and interested parties in the Flemish and Wallon constituency so often, whatever, continue. Their truism was straightforward. Players have individual positions and characteristics, but need empowerment within the playing system. Yeah? Interchangeable. Attackers, defenders. Yeah? Got rid of the 4-4-2. 4-3-3. Fluidity. Most efficient. Right? Go up a little more. Go, no, the other way.
Done.
Yeah. So the triangulation, justifying the 4-3-3. Listen, 4-3-3 meets all requirements to develop players who excel in ball circulations, right? Ball passing, and individual actions. Individual actions is dribbling, taking on players, skill sets,
Mhm.
right? If youth players adopt a libero or man marking, what does it imply tactically? Yeah? You follow your direct opponents the whole game, which is marking.
Mhm.
Whereas if you're playing zones, if you think you have to position yourself in relation to your opponent and situation in the game. That's why in my system what used to be talk about pressing, we don't mark players, we press the ball.
Mhm.
Yeah. So anyway, you guys please go on.
And this is what you say as well that he sought to align divisions and implement his preferred formation with small-sided games at both the clubs and nationals. So the clubs are playing the same formation, same system, and the youth teams and the national team.
Exactly.
So this is
Right.
exactly what
I've been
what
advocating.
you advocated.
Right.
Yeah.
So and what they did was they developed their system based off what their genetics are. Now, luckily for us, Belgium's genetics are similar to ours because they have an influx of Africans and then blends, so black and white and people. So if you look at the Belgium national team, you see Axel Witsel, you see Lukaku, yeah, all different players. So we have the speed factor plus the size. I brought the skill sets to Phoenix and taught it to them. Many other Jamaicans are now using it. But the truth be told, all of this I had done in preparation to sell this idea to Jamaica and the national team. Yeah? Right? So the goal is to get all of this done. Right? Now, I personally don't need to be involved with the JFF. I need to see Jamaica playing a proper system. And the best person to implement it is one who has learned it, how and seen it happen. I was there during that time. When I was at Genk, Kevin De Bruyne was at Genk.
Mhm.
You understand?
Yeah.
Courtois was at Genk. Benteke, yeah? Carrasco, yeah? When you look in Belgium at the time, you had Lukaku, was at Anderlecht. Yeah, you had, Company, yeah? Anderlecht. So the truth to be told, I experienced the whole Belgian football revolution and created the golden generation of footballers. If they can do it, and they don't have the raw materials that we do,
Mhm.
why can't we? The only thing holding us back is how the elections are done,
Yeah.
and that they continue to hope that by putting a player in the national team, he will get a contract. Somebody will see him and he'll get a contract. So people like Speed, whose goal is to try and make money, will use the national team to put players in to get a contract. But people like me don't need it. You understand?
Yeah.
I don't need it. I don't need to put my players in the national team. Leon Bailey went to Aston Villa, not as a result of his being in the national team, but in spite of it.
Yeah.
Yeah? Um, he went to Genk. Kemar Reed, where he is. Glenfuller Hasselback, not because he plays for Suriname, but because he was developed at Phoenix and he got his opportunity and he took it. Yeah, so these are the things that we have to recognize. Let's answer some more questions and then we're going to.
Yeah, if anybody has any questions, let us know. Someone's asking if you know Rivaldo Mitchell from Walmers, player, I'm assuming.
I'm very. I think if he's talking about the kid that went to Peter Paul and played center forward.
Yeah.
If that's the kid he's talking about, he's a big boy, very strong, fast. I think I saw him at the under 17 trials. Um, Still have a lot of technical work to do, you know.
Mhm.
But when you look at Jamani Bell play, Jamani Bell has been playing against Premier League players from he was maybe that 10, yeah,
Mhm.
and he's been doing well. He's a super talent,
Mhm.
you know. Denzel McKenzie, super talent. You see, one of the things that we have to be able to do is differentiate between a player's age or size and his ability.
Yeah.
You might have a player who is 13 years old, but he's 6 foot, can run you down and hit you down. And then you have a player who's 13 years old that is barely 5 feet, but you can see his skill sets and his technique and his movement and his vision and his understanding of the game.
Yeah.
And you know that that little kid is going to go so much further than the big muscle kid who is not thinking, can't
Yeah.
think, you know, who can only use 1 foot maybe and will run it to death. But
Yeah.
sooner or later, what happens? That's what happens with Jamaicans. We have the natural raw material that makes us bigger, stronger than everybody, faster than everybody else. We don't do the technical development, that technical development that will make them get better. So what happens is they just continue to get bigger, but they don't get better.
Yeah.
So after a while, everybody will catch up in size, and then you will fall to the wayside. So that's what happens with a lot of those coaches that they have. I'm really, as I said, Wolvers, I'm really glad to see Jerome Waite.
Oh yeah, that was
He's
exciting.
back now at Wolvers.
Yeah.
I told that guy he wouldn't last long. The guy who came up to JC and up to
Oh.
the border,
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
and they were beating them and was basically
Yeah. All right. Any last questions before we end off today? Just please type it in. I'm just looking back. There was a couple questions about asking about a Premier League team. They always ask this. I mean, you play against Premier League teams all the time, anyway. But obviously, people are asking
why we don't.
Yeah, why don't have a Premier League team or?
Well, first of all, Chris Williams, you did not let us in. How can you be my best friend? I know make us get into the Premier League or give us one of them franchises. And we're based in Kingston, and the second tier that they have that would qualify for the Premier League is Kingston and St Andrew didn't participate and didn't see it fit to allow us to play, and is not even now recognizing what the JFF is doing. And the teams that are out there playing, they have all their players from their community that they want to play. So for Phoenix to come in and say, listen, we want to play in the second tier, they're not going to let us in. Even though everybody we played against in practice matches,
It's always
6-0,
yeah.
7-0,
It's always the same play, same teams.
same teams. We played against, I think, Baptist Alliance, and we gave them something like 7 or 8 or something like that. But they're doing well. They're in the second tier. They won 2 games, I think, so far, and doing well. So,
Yeah.
the truth be told, you have to be careful as a developer of talent in putting your players under a club. Let me give you an example, right? Some people say, listen, just go play for one of those clubs, coach a club, and go. I'm thinking of doing that right now, but we have also put in a lot of paperwork and agreements in place because I could be developing Jamani Bell or Dylan John and one of them, and then we go and play for one of those Premier League teams. And when it's time for me to transfer them, that Premier League team want X amount of money. And the person who may be in charge may not have the vision that I have. Because, I mean, Leon, when he first went signed in that club in Europe, it was for zero. You know, we got in, we got a chance to show what we could do, and then we moved, and money started to come in. But many people out here, I remember a particular club out in the east. I had a young player that I wanted to bring to Malta to get him a chance out of Jamaica. They were paying him 1,000
Mhm.
Jamaican dollars per month,
Wow.
and the club refused to let the player go. Um, and they weren't smart enough to realize that if they gave him on a loan, and the kid only had 1 year left on his contract, and they gave
Yeah.
him on a 1 year loan, you lose any chance of making money anyway.
Yeah.
You
It just
know,
ends
so
anyway.
it's the logics. But the truth is that I have to be careful of how I do it. I'm thinking of doing it with a Premier League club for next season so that the players out here can actually legitimately play, and not only our videos of the practice matches against them, but in real um, JFF games, because in that way they can't say that they're not good enough to play
Yeah.
in the national team because they haven't seen them in anything but practice games,
Yeah.
which is what they use now. Um, Whisper Zanda, our central defender
Yeah.
Duvi, Duvi could play in that senior team right now.
Yeah.
He could play
For sure.
alongside Damian Lowe right now. He's
Yeah.
that big. He's about Damian Lowe's size. He's bigger than Damian Lowe in terms of body.
Yeah.
Strong, fast, intelligent, creative, calm, um, and he's 18 years old. Should be in that team easily, but you know the politics thing.
Yeah. It's funny. They first say, well, we can never see your players. Finally, give them the footage. Oh,
Footage.
we don't want this. It's practice matches. It's like,
Yeah.
so what do you want? Do you want footage or no footage?
Do you want footage
Yeah.
or no footage?
Yeah.
You know. So meanwhile, we're playing the practice matches and beating the Premier League teams. You know.
Yeah.
We're going on tour this. I didn't tell you this, Brandon.
Hmm.
Going on tour this summer again. We're going to go to Spain.
Hmm.
We're going to go to France. We're going to go to Belgium, and we're going to go to Germany, and we're going to take our top talents, and we're going to sell them.
Hmm.
That's what we're doing now. You know, Duvi is now 18. Um, Jade, who is in England, should be turning 18 in October. Uh, Mario Sims is 19. Buster. So we're gonna go as a unit play and just wholesale auction.
Hmm.
Get everybody going, sell them out, so we can push up Dylan and Bell and the younger ones,
Generation.
and get them the develop them to for another year, and then get them out as well. So we're not joking. Another thing, those are you guys who believe that you can disrespect me or Phoenix, and then come and ask Leon Bailey for an interview. Yeah, can you go away, please? He's not going to give me an interview. Yeah, not going to do it. Phoenix can never die. One Phoenix, one family, always. We want to argue or have our own differences, like me and Kyle from time to time, or whoever else. That's our business. That's Phoenix business. You cannot disrespect our under 20 players and say negative things about them. And Leon, who knows the truth, is gonna actually entertain you for an interview after he does well in a game. So the person who has his show that walked up with his little phone the other day after disrespecting my under 20 players, walking up to Leon yes last night about an interview, you realize it's not gonna happen. So peace.
Right, and I'll show Craig that player on YouTube. So don't worry about that.
And thanks Auntie Shelley for taking care of us and feeding us.
Oh, thank you.
Random. There's
Rest is
tuna
for me?
sandwiches. Yeah, I ate mine already.
Okay.
So we're good.
All right. So yeah, don't worry. I'll show him the video right after this, and then.
Show who the video.
Well, I guess this guy he's really asking to watch this Rivaldo video. You want to take a quick look at him on YouTube?
Let's look at him right now. Don't be like that. We're not gonna hide and do it. Let's look at the kid.
Okay. So I wasn't sure
The
if you
kid
had
is good
somewhere.
enough. Let's look at him.
Okay, Rivaldo. Is Wilmers? I think you said.
Yeah.
Um,
There's a kid at Manning Cup level, it looks like.
yeah, I mean he's talking up pretty. He's saying he's the next Leon. He's just like him.
No.
There is no other one like Leon.
No. I don't send a link to this guy and let him come on the show and discuss it with us.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Send him a link. We can ask him to.
Well, I don't have we.
Uh,
Do you have his contact? Uncharted Media.
not Rivaldo,
Which one?
the Uncharted Media guy.
Oh,
Tell him to come on and show me
You want-
talk to
you
us
want-
about this player.
Uncharted Media. You want to come on, and if you do, put in the comments. So he's an attacking winger.
Winger.
Yeah, I think he said. I think it was winger. So these are
How did he
highlights.
do against Mona? Did he play against Mona High?
That's a good question. And these are highlights from 2 years ago, actually, as well.
Or 2 years ago?
Yeah, this is 1920.
Where's this player now?
Let me see if it had his age.
You see, a big part of this thing is advocacy and development. What's this kid doing wrong? What did that move that he did a while ago? Go back. Yes. Watch it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Any good defender would have taken that ball. Dribbling on his right foot with the defender on his right. Yeah, so he's not protecting the ball. Which makes me wonder what are his dribbling skills if he can dribble with both feet.
Yeah, he's leaning on that right foot.
Yeah, right. But he should be dribbling with the left and finishing with the left to protect the ball. Yeah? but it could be just in that one instance. But again, development is important, training is important. You will never see a Phoenix player do that.
Mm. No, you can't come on.
Michael Edwards is asking how we're doing with Spain. We got any contracts? They love Duve and they love Dante, Whisper, and Buster. Duve and Buster are those that are able to take a contract. So we're going back up in July, and that's why we've added Spain because we're going to go with the team and play against them and other players to get them there. Whisper can't sign now, and Dante Peralta can't sign now. They're both 16 years old. So the most that we could do is have them go in and train with them periodically um, at Real Sociedad, whilst not losing what we have at Phoenix, because what we have at Phoenix is special. You know, believe it or not, our training modules and what we do is is what makes us the Leon Baileys, that what makes us the
Mhm.
Deshaun Richards, the Kemar Reed, the Kyle Butlers of this world. So we can take 2 years away from a whisper
Yeah,
and send him to Tottenham, right? When here is what built him and here is what will get him where he needs to go if he just focuses,
yeah.
you know? So,
All right.
Brandon, if can I send you something?
Yeah, on WhatsApp.
Yeah, I'm going to send you a video on WhatsApp, right? Because the JFF has left out um, um, Whisper and Dovey off their national under 20. And one of the main things they're claiming is that um, they're not fit. Yeah, they're injured and can't play. Right, so I'm sending this to you, Brandon. I just want to put it up on the show. Show that
Mm.
Whisper is there at training every day, doing his stuff, and we're actually himself. Just want to thank. Can they hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, want to thank 24-hour fitness for the support that it has given to Leon Bailey with his recovery, Kyle Butler on his getting fit again, to Dante Peralta, Dejan Richards, and Don Hugh Mitchell, who are preparing themselves to become monsters. So they're
Yeah.
training. Imagine they're training 3 times a day in the gym and 5 times a week on the pitch. You know, so
Yeah. Someone's asking if you teach other coaches or you have any courses.
yes, we do. What we normally do is, if you want to become a coach, you can come to Phoenix and you can do what I did, get a practicum where you're training with us, learning with us, because I think that's the most important.
Okay, so we're waiting on this. Any other questions while we're here? Freedom Vlog says, "Hope we get to meet someday from Western Jamaica, living overseas, starting my academy soon. Um, you have inspired me, Mr. Butler."
Keep
Maybe.
going, my friend. Keep going. There's something that someone said that there's a lot of talented people at the JFF is fighting on. It's true, and speed is behind a lot of that too, right? And who? Because speed is the chairman of the technical committee, and the chairman of the technical committee hires the coaches. Yeah. Now, if the coach doesn't put in speeds players, then and they fail, then he can say get rid of the coach. If the coach puts in speeds players and they don't fail, no, if he coach puts in speeds players and they fail, then he can say give the coach more time. And this is where the real conflict comes in. The the reality is, I could give you an example, right? A while ago, the guy was saying, can he put up his video?
Mhm.
If I was at JFF at our speed, I'd say, yeah, I'll look at it. I'd say what you said. I'll look at it after, which
Yeah.
means I would personally look at it at 5:30,
Yeah.
and nobody else gets to see this game. I'm different. I don't care whether they come from Phoenix or not. Jamaica first, put up the youth, make we see him.
Yeah.
If it's good enough, then we can do it. If I have a critique him, I look at him, critique him. Right? Now look at this. Look at this clip. Oh, I'll show you something.
Start training.
All right, so there you go, right?
This is a player that they've been saying is injured.
You see the foot whisper across it?
There's whisper training.
It's on the right side,
This is a player that they've been saying is injured.
across to the right. Important, right? So, the idea, as I said, is to ensure that we have fairness across the board. You know?
Yep.
Any other questions?
Just some comments. JFF U20 left out Duvey and Whisper saying they are unfit. How ridiculous of a reason to leave out the boys. And we just saw a video of them. I'm training. I just watched them, and you can go on YouTube right now. Or the last match.
The last match
We have it
against
on
Mullines,
Phoenix.
it's on. I don't put it up.
Yeah, I can put it up here.
Friendly game I had against Mullines under 20. And then when I spoke about it, check out how corrupt this is, right? We spoke about Whisper. There's a guy named Valney Brown that is down here from Florida. He's a founding member of Mullines. And he was helping to coach him or whatever. And he had a Premier League, he was in the Premier League team, whatever. So we have the under 20 game. He invited us to come down and play the under 20. Brought the players down, Phoenix. Played the game. When I finished the game, I called him over and I said, Valney, can you tell me if I send you a link from Facebook, you can put it up?
Yeah.
Oh, great. This is even better. It's a little time random, but it's important people
Really?
see this because it's crazy. Look at this now. Right? Share to more options to Brandon Carvalho. All right, there you go, Brandon. See?
Not yet. You shared on WhatsApp?
Yeah, it's actually doing that. Split into.
Oh.
Or just copy the link.
Yeah, I just copy the link and click my face, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah.
All right, so this is after the game, right? That game that you're seeing there. And well, Brandon, I'm glad me have him. We couldn't do anything here.
Valley is a top coach out of Florida.
Okay, I
Developed a
should be
lot
able to
of talent,
see
worked with a
that.
lot of
Yes.
talent. A lot of talent that I work with. He ended up working with them like Romario Williams as well. And he's now heading up down here in Mullines unit. And he's out. We just played a friendly game with his U19s. The U19s. So I just want to ask you about it. Dovey, come here and whisper. What you thought of the game?
A very good game to start with, but with your unit being in training at the end, our group was just that group that just coming together, pour down, and you could see the difference. But your team in general is something to look at. They play the ball well, they move the ball well, and they have a common understanding of each other.
Tell me something. We just want to do a little bit. Dovey, come here, please. Whisper. Um, you. We just want to quell some rumors that are there, right? You referee the game, right? Because it's your home game.
Right.
Did you see these two players play?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Both of them played, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you
He
say
got
that?
quality. He got quality.
Yeah, do you think they played a little bit of the game or almost
No,
all the game?
entire game. Without them, you don't have nothing.
All right, so this is my center half, Don Mitchell, and um, Whisper Richards. Both of them played. One of the rumors that is going around is that they didn't pick them because they had injuries and were not able to go to the US. I mean, to the tournament in Honduras. This is the father of Whisper, Richie. Yeah, Richie just coming, probably just woke up.
Yeah.
Tired. And we're here with Van Brown. Boys just played almost a full game, and we just want to dispel that rumor that they are unavailable. They are available and they're fit and ready.
Yes, they're in top form. They're in top form.
Thank you, Van. Thank you very much. And good luck with your team.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Yes, sir. All right, now let's get some facts straight. Yeah. A few, maybe about a month ago, Whisper got a knock at the Jamaica U20 trials when he scored against our own goalkeeper, Pusai. Yeah, Pusai gave him a knock. Now that knock gave him a knock on his knee. Rest it, ice it, glucosamine chondroit in it. Take the medication, anti-inflammatories, go to the doctor, everything. The rest was recommended for a week. And at the same time, him catch COVID. Yeah? Now he had been training now about 2 or 3 camps with the JFF. So when he caught the COVID, he didn't go into camp. He could have continued playing with the knee, you know? Yeah? And he rested the knee. The 1 week after when the COVID was gone and he was fine and ready to come in clear, and Fuzzy now came in after his exploits with Waterhouse, failing to qualify with the what do you call it, the Caribbean Club Championships.
Oh yeah.
And then also at the same time being involved with the Premier League team and the games and all that. He came in the next week, and when we said, okay, Whisper can come back into camp now after being there, missing 1 week of camp of 4 weeks of camp, Fuzzy then said, no, we don't want him to come in. Right? Then he sees Duvey for the first time, who has been getting man of the match performances at centre half, the best defender they have. And he sees me watching the training. And the day he saw me watching the training, Duvey was not allowed to come back again. Yeah? Now, Xander Bicknell deserves to be in that team. He's a top defensive midfielder and a box-to-box, can't tire, shoots well, passes well, reads the game well, intelligent, coach's dream. And he's built by Phoenix. Yeah? Now, Duvey is top. Whisper is top. The reason he didn't get rid of Xander is not because of Xander's ability, because Duvey and Whisper in their own positions had just as good ability and just as good pedigree. But Fuzzy coaches Waterhouse FC.
Okay.
Xander's last name is Bicknell.
Yeah.
So he can't rank with Xander. Yeah? So you hurt the other two because you can. But if he could, he would have get rid of Xander too. Yeah?
And that is what I have a problem with these coaches, these press button coaches. Yeah, that speed can say, listen, get rid of them too, man. They don't even button a boy them. Yeah, I can tell you, Vin Blaine learned too late. Dalton Wint learned too late. You Fuzzy, you better learn too late. Because guess what? In 2 years' time, Whisper will be 18. 2 years' time, he'll be a professional in Europe. In 2 years' time, he'll be joining Leon Bailey in that first team. And so will Duve. Yeah? And so will Zander. And where will you be? I doubt you'll be coaching Waterhouse because you don't know how to win. You've been to 2 or 3 finals and can't win none. So truth be told, until you learn to judge based off the merits of the player, not who coaches the player, not where the player comes from, not who you can bully or do what you want to do with them and get away with it, but who is good enough. Till you can do that, until you educate yourself to how the rest of the world is playing, instead of telling Dovey that he should be backing off as a centre half, right? And putting in 3 attacking midfielders in the middle of the pitch so that they run straight through the belly of that and facing the defenders that are backing off, which you did against Harborview, right? You saw how the national team played last night? Everybody was above the half, including the central defenders, packed in, pressing together. That's the modern day football, and that's the modern day football that would suit Jamaica best. Until you learn that, you'll constantly lose in more ways than one. I think we should end the
Yeah,
show.
I did there. Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys coming in. Like I said, early.
What
show
what is?
today.
They say Waterhouse put up Zander saying it's their player. Nah, they couldn't because I took Zander to Germany about 2 or 3 years ago. Having been developed at Phoenix, only trained at Phoenix all his life from when he was 11 years old. If you go and look at Phoenix's website, you'll see him all those years coming up. Took him to Europe, got him into the system, got him into a club called not Bonner FC. Bonner FC was a second club. There was another club, a small club, then moved him to Bonner FC. Now he's at Fortuna Cologne. And nothing of that had anything to do with Fuzzy or Waterhouse. Period. Yeah. Every time we would play Waterhouse, including the Premier League team, the last game we played against them, they lost by 4 goals to 2. Yeah, we won. Yeah, so no, I don't think so. All right, thank you.
All right, guys, please like, share the stream, and we'll be back next time.